welcome back, or welcome if you are new here. I am recording this with the faint hope that you will not be able to hear my kid watching Disney Plus in the background. If you're hearing me say that, then it worked. Yay! If not, well, that's future Carmen's problem. Hello, welcome back to another bullet journal setup. It feels strangely like it's been a really long time since I have done one of these. Probably because I've been doing so much book-related content. Go and check that out, I guess, if you are into reading or book-related content, booktube stuff. But that is certainly not relevant to this video, which obviously is my setup for March. So let's talk about that. I know people typically say, like, oh, the year is going so fast, this month flew by, and I definitely felt that with January, but with February, it has felt like the month has been dragging its heels, which I can't particularly explain, but part of that perhaps was that I was really struggling to come up with a theme that I wanted to do. I knew after February, which was a OG Writer Carol minimalist deal, that I needed to do something aesthetic. I needed to do something a little bit extra. I needed to doodle and color and do all of that fun stuff. But I just couldn't decide what that was going to be. And finally it came to me, and I decided to do a camping/wilderness theme. Mostly camping, but not really. Here's the thing. I have been camping many times in my life. My mom took me fairly often when I was young, and I have to be honest, I utterly detest camping. I just, I hate it so much. But I find the aesthetics of camping very pleasing. They're just really nice to look at, and they're fun to doodle, and I love like photos of the wilderness and like cute camping stuff. And if you're into anime, there's a show called Laid Back Camp, which is super cute and just so nice and lovely, and yeah. So I feel a little bit silly that this was my theme, given how much I earnestly do hate camping. But you know what? I'm not going camping. I'm just drawing little pictures in my bullet journal, so it's fine, right? Maybe? I don't know. But that's the theme that we're going with for March, and thus far, I'm really enjoying it. As you can see, I did sort of a nail together pieces of wood for the lettering, as well as the outline of my calendar. As you can see, I'm doing a full calendar spread once again. I don't know. I'm sort of going back and forth on what's working and what I'm enjoying, so we'll see how March goes. The other thing that I wanted to be sure to include on this first spread is a section for my monthly goals. I didn't have that in January, and it turned out okay, but I did miss it, and I ended up using a little space at the beginning of my February setup for some goals. It just really helps me keep track of what I want to be focusing on that month. So I wanted to be sure to include that. And here I've done a little bit of a zoom in so you can see some of the doodles that I'm doing. This is really simple stuff. I may love art, but I'm not highly skilled at doodling and artistic creativity stuff. So just some very simple trees and a little tent, a little campfire with some mountains in the distance. I'm using 2 different colors of Crayola Super Tips for the trees. I feel like it adds a little bit of depth to it, which is really nice. Oh, I should also be upfront and say the other reason that I was drawn to doing this theme for March is I have amassed a large number of printed out pictures from the internet, from stock websites like Unsplash, or just pictures from the internet, and so many of them are nature images. I am like deeply drawn to pictures of nature, and I wanted to do a setup where I didn't print out any new pictures, where if I was going to collage something, I had the resources on hand. I wasn't gonna feel like I needed something new. Yes, that was my kid asking for their crayons so that they could color. Anyway, welcome back. As I was saying, I just wanted to try and use some of the stuff that I have on hand instead of like printing out new pictures, which is nice, certainly, but I should really use the ones that I have. And this theme works really well for random pictures of nature. And it's making me so happy. I can't even explain it. What is it about things that we like aesthetically, where the actuality of it we do not like at all? What is something that you love dearly aesthetically, but in its reality you do not love at all? Let me know down in the comments. Maybe it's just me and I'm just ridiculous like that. Onward to the next spread. We are returning to a habit tracker. What? Who am I? I don't even know. Can I even explain myself here? I've been thinking about it for a while. I think about it pretty often, let's be honest. And I've been really happy without a habit tracker for months. I thought that it had been about a year since I had used a habit tracker, and that's not true. I kept trying to use habit trackers up until about June of last year, and then I finally gave up because they just were not working for me at all. But in the last month or so, I've really been trying to take care of myself and develop habits for self-care, both mental and physical. And I just really feel like a habit tracker is going to be beneficial. It has been in the past. So I'm starting simple. I'm only doing 6 habits, one of which is mostly tracking when the kid gets a bath. So it's not a habit so much as it is how long has it been since the child has been bathed. But simple stuff, and I'm hopeful. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Maybe I'll hate it and abandon it, and then we won't do it again for another year or something. But one of my intentions for 2020 is to take care of myself. Mentally, physically, emotionally, and I think I need a little bit more structure to that. I need that motivation and reminder to drink more water, to eat healthier food, to exercise my body, those sorts of things. So, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I'm generally a big advocate of habit trackers if they work for you. So we'll see. As you can see, I'm doing the same type of font for the top of the page to label it as habits, and then I've just got blank calendar shapes. I actually, is this cheating? Not really. I don't know. Because of the fluid nature of the original Writer Carol format, I added in a couple of habit trackers, like very casual habit trackers, at the beginning of my February spread. And I found I didn't need the numbers in there. I just needed the shape of the calendar. And then if I can reference like the calendar on the first page of the setup, then I know what day it is, if that makes sense. And it also allows me to put in, like, I can do a check, I can do an X, I can fill it in with a color, or I can put in the number of exercises that I did, or like the number of minutes, or the number of ounces of water, or I don't know, whatever. You get the idea. But it leaves a little bit more wiggle room in terms of how I'm tracking each habit, which I think will be beneficial in the success of this experiment. And on the right-hand side of this spread is my usual memory keeping page for my kid. I found that I'm not making a huge number of notes about them on the dedicated spread, so mostly I need to track when they've had a bath and write down anything really major that has happened. Like they're really set on learning how to jump, and once they finally get that going, then I'll want to write that down. But we're to a point where not everything is that amazing and exceptional. Like it is, but it isn't. Parents, you feel me? So I don't need as much room. I just want to be sure I have a place to paste in photos at the end of the month. And this is my standard mood tracking and daily log spread. Once again, I really didn't know what I wanted to do for this, partially because I hate camping so much, so I couldn't think of a doodle that wasn't going to be not like irritating, but wasn't going to get tiring after a while, shall we say. So what I settled on is not exactly camping-esque, but it is a bunch of little postcards, which looks really cute. It was a lot of fun to draw, and I think it'll be really cute once they're all filled in. It doesn't leave a whole lot of room for daily logging, but that's okay. I only really need to be able to write down a couple of words for how my day was, and anything more than that can be more of a journal entry or notes and stuff in my actual daily log. I hope that this is making sense. I'm realizing how many times I'm repeating the same words just in different combinations, and I feel bad about it now, but I think I got my point across there. So in the postcard spread, where the address would be, I am putting the date. Where the little message of the postcard would be is where the daily log note is gonna go, in very tiny text or just like a couple of words probably. And ta-da! I am using a stencil. Very exciting. My spouse and I decided to splurge on ourselves a little tiny bit, like $20, and get a set of stencils, which I love stencils, and these ones are so cool, and I've been looking for an excuse to use them. Ta-da! March setup. And I'm doing that because the mood is going to be tracked in the postage stamp section of the postcard, and I wanted it to be just a tiny bit larger than the 5mm by 5mm square that a standard bullet journal dot grid creates. And now we are on to the last spread in this setup, which is my first week, which is gonna be dailies again. I don't know. I almost want to do a wrap-up from February from my experience of doing the classic Ryder Carroll method, but I don't know. Yeah? You got some things to say? Do you have thoughts on the Ryder Carroll method? And now you're not speaking to me? Anyway, I kind of, like I said, I kind of feel like I want to do a wrap up of my experience because I was really surprised by some things and how it went for me. So look out for that maybe at some point in the future, maybe not. But I think it is going to somewhat adjust how I approach my bullet journaling and specifically my daily spreads. But I know for sure that I need some aestheticness in there. I need some extra. I need cute things. I'm a very visual person, and when my bullet journal or my journal or my planner or whatever it is that I am using to try and keep track of my life and be productive is aesthetically pleasing, that makes me happy and it makes me want to use it, which means that I'm going to be more productive, I'm going to be more satisfied, I'm going to be more on top of my stuff. It's good all around, and that's the entire point here. And that's it. That's everything. Now we are into the final flip through. I hope so much that you have enjoyed this setup. Like I said, I'm really thrilled with it. I'm looking forward to using it and seeing what I create throughout the month. Let me know down in the comments, like I said, something that you love theoretically or aesthetically but hate in reality, as well as what theme you are doing for March. And anyway, yeah, thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you all very soon, probably next week. Look out for another book-related video, ? And I'll talk to you later. Bye.